Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Tony Harvin, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'd like to thank everybody for coming to this channel, liking, subscribing, leaving your comments whether positive or negative. Much love and much prayers to everybody. This here is live conversation number 141. Live conversations number 141. And we're here on this Saturday evening. We're here on this Saturday evening. Hope everybody's doing well on this Saturday evening. Yeah, I know my disclaimer. My disclaimer is I'm not a pastor preacher. I don't hold any type of office in the church. So please do not lay claims of those titles on me. But sure, earlier we had a wonderful biblical discussion with Corey Minor, Wayne Smith, and Craig. The topic was baptism. It was a great it was a great discussion, and questions from the chat room for sure. Greetings to everybody, in the chat room who joining this live conversation number 141 in reference to exposing a false prophet. Listen, y'all know when I expose these false prophets, it's on. You know, it's on. There's a KO in the first round, the first 10 seconds. You understand? So, what up to Port Mountain? What up to Lady Speed, Sharon Taylor, Tika Johnson? We're going to start from the beginning. We're going to start from the beginning in reference to this false prophet, so-called street preacher. I don't know where he's from, St. Louis, Chicago, one of them areas and whatnot. He was brought on this YouTube platform in a biblical discussion and debates. He had a couple of debates on here and what have you. I remember a video that he had made, a while ago, but he deleted it, I believe. And it was in reference to me, but I still let him slide to have biblical discussions. You know what I mean? Anybody is welcome on the platform to have biblical discussions in general. It doesn't matter if you disagree or not. It's how you come about it. If you disrespect somebody in a personal manner, then nah, you can't come on this platform in general. So he was allowed on the platform in general. You know what I'm saying? So yes, did I think he did a good job in discussions? No. You understand that? No, not at all. You understand that? And I don't really like to give feedback on discussions and what have you. But this is a fellow who states that he's homeless and whatnot. And I got nothing against people who are that way. We all grown adults. We could go out there and get a job or a career, whatever the case may be. But listen, I'm not gonna feel sorry for somebody who, in my opinion, it seems like you don't want to work in general. I mean, hey man, if you claim to be homeless and whatnot, listen, go out there and get a job, man. You understand that? If you a man, listen, all these all these jobs out there and whatnot and stuff like that. Listen, I ain't gonna feel sorry for no grown man living in a car with a stink dog, man. I'm not gonna feel sorry for that. You understand that? You know what I mean? If I can get up 2 or 3 in the morning pushing trucks for 13 to 15 hours a day, I'm not gonna feel sorry for a man, in the car with a stink dog sleeping and read bedtime stories to each other and what have you. So the guy came on here. I believe him and Peter Cox, they had a biblical discussion. I forgot the topic was. Somebody help me out here, please. So Mr. Peter Cox had offered $10,000 and what have you. It wasn't a bet. It was an offer. There's a difference between a bet and an offer. You understand that? So betting is gambling. You go to Atlantic City, Las Vegas, or whatever the case may be. Somebody offers you something to prove something. That has nothing to do with gambling. So I guess Mr. St. Louis thought he proved something in the discussion and things and things like that, but he didn't. To be honest with you, you know. So Mr. St. Louis, he made a video on YouTube making a physical threat to Mr. Peter Cox. Now, I seen that video. You know what I mean? I seen that video. But he took it down off of YouTube. But before he took it down, listen, I'm a YouTuber. So I know when they make a video and they're going to feel conscious to take it down later on. So before I viewed the video, I took it down and I ripped it. You understand that? Because I knew that he was going to take it down. And that's a a criminal legal matter, you know what I'm saying, in regards to making a personal physical threat to somebody. Now, he was on somebody platform in which he said he never made a physical threat. Now here I have the audio right here. I have the audio right here. Now this man said on somebody's platform that he never threatened Peter Cox. He never threatened. But here I have it. You understand that? So we're gonna play it. I'm gonna have to interject sometimes a little bit so to keep people caught up and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So here it is right here. You know what I mean? All right.
So my final statement to Peter, and I'm gonna put Peter in the past.
So he made a video, right? And he's concluding his video right now. So he's making a final statement to Mr. Peter Cox. You understand that? You know, and this is supposed to be a street preacher, a so-called street preacher living in his car, you know, with a dirty dog. You know what I'm saying? So here you go right here.
I'm giving you until October the 3rd to pay me my money. If you don't pay me by the 3rd of October, listen.
See, he has a quarrel against the truth of God, but yet he's mimicking, you know what I mean, some of the stuff that's said. Like, listen. My man, you're not S.C. Johnson, man. You're not Gino either, you know?
You have until October the 3rd of 2022 to pay St. Louis, me,
yeah, that?
my $10,000.
So he's making a demand to a person to pay him $10,000. He's making a demand. Now, first, watch this.
I can go and show the court what was debated on Tony's platform.
See that?
I'm giving you 2 weeks. I'm giving you 2 weeks.
See, he said 2 weeks because I believe it was 2 weeks ago. I got it saved on my computer September the 19th. You understand that? So he's coming in a demanding way that he's going to take this to court. You know what I'm saying? But watch out for this one, after this one.
Pay me my money. If you don't, one or two things is going to happen. One, I'm going to take you to court. Or two, I'm going to personally come down to Delaware.
Now, he says he's going to personally come down to Delaware, which is where Peter Cox is originally from. How does a homeless man with a stink dog got the means to go all the way out there to Delaware to go see a man? It doesn't make no sense. Now watch this. Don't even know his address.
And you already know the deal then. I ain't got to even say nothing.
You see that?
You already know the deal. Because if we had this discussion face to face, I guarantee you it's not going to go pretty good.
You heard that, right? Now, a lot of us is from the hood. You understand that? What type of talk is that right there? Now, this man say he didn't physically threaten him. But clearly in this audio right here, my man, you said one or two things is going to happen. Listen, first of all, you can't take somebody to court for a civil matter and then make a physical threat on the criminal side. It's going to get thrown out right then and there. So that's why he took the YouTube video down. You understand that? But I have it in my archives. You know what I'm saying? But remember, he said he never physically threatened Mr. Peter Cox. Clearly, in his audio, he did. You understand that? So we're going to continue with it.
I'm trying to save you from that.
I'm going to rewind it. Watch
Delaware.
This.
And you already know the deal then. I ain't got to even say nothing. You already know the deal. Because if we had this discussion face to face, I guarantee you it's not gonna go pretty good. I'm trying to save you from that. You shouldn't write checks with your mouth when you can't cash them.
So, oh man, listen, Mr. St. Louis, stop lying to people, man. Stop it. I have another audio on my other phone, where as though this man is using profanity. You know what I'm saying? A so-called preacher using profanity. But I was generous enough to ask the person for consent, which respectfully, you know what I mean, due to certain circumstances, I can't. You know what I'm saying? I'm respectful like that. But I do have that audio where this man is using profanity and whatnot. You understand? So, Mr. Gregory Johnson, you could come join this chat right now, man. You know, just like I gave Mr. St. Louis the address to my place of business, I'll give it to you too, and I'll reimburse you to come through. Listen, I don't do the back and forth talking, man. You from the Truth of God, we're gonna be at the end of the year service. Come through. Simple as that, man. You understand? So, in a situation of that manner, you know, you cannot take a person to court civilly when you threaten somebody. You know what I mean? On a physical sense. You know, he said it's getting spicy. Oh man, so this is a crazy situation when you call yourself a so-called preacher, when you call yourself a so-called pastor, but yet using certain profanity and things like that. Now, the person who just came on here stating that, you know, I made a physical threat or whatever, I'm not no preacher. I ain't no preacher. It's a different standards when you call yourself a preacher and when you're not. You understand? And other my live conversation, I say a lot of us are not there. You understand that? But when you take on a title of a pastor or a preacher, that's a different standard. You understand that? You don't go around making a physical threat to a person in general, especially if you're a so-called preacher, if you're a so-called pastor. Now I'm itching to play this audio where he's using profanity as a so-called preacher. So then he goes to run to I believe the guy's church in Alabama. My man, he can't save you. He can't save you at all. He cannot save you. I don't care who you run to, man. None of those. I don't care if you run an LC Methodist church, Hebrew Israelites church, or whoever. That's not going to save you, man. That's not going to save you at all. You know, so that's why he's been banned from this from the biblical discussion platform. You know, a lot of people, some people may have mentioned his name. You know, whatever the case may be, Mr. St. Louis been banned ever since he made that physical threat to Peter Cox. I know a lot of us don't agree with certain things, but you do not make physical threats to people in general, especially if you're coming on somebody else's platform and things of that nature. You don't do that, you know. Let me go to the chat room. Let me greet everybody for sure. What up? What up, Poor Mountain, Lady Speed, Sharon Taylor, Tika Johnson, Great Man, Corey Finney, Savannah. What up, Herbert, K. Amen. You know, what up, Carla? What up? What is that? Kara Jubb. What up, Jen Juice? What up, Blessed Tone? You said trolls in the chat. It's just one. It was just one troll. You know, just blocked them. Simple as that. He can call 211 for food, I think, or resources to get food. Well, if a man is homeless, right? If a man is home, listen, if when I was about in my early 20s, listen, if I could walk to work 1 hour to work and 1 hour back in all types of weather, you know what I'm saying? For a job, he can get his behind up and go out and get a job. Simple as that. You understand? You're a grown man. I don't think you got any kids, to my knowledge. I don't know. Get your behind up and go work. Simple as that. I don't feel sorry for no grown man, an able man, you know what I mean? In which Tommy Ingram made a good point about him. If you're an able man, an able person who can work. I've seen some disabled people working, you know what I mean? Somebody in a wheelchair working. There's a football player, I believe they're twins or whatever, with one hand playing football. You understand that? Get up, go. Listen, if you got to flip burgers, if you got to flip packages at Amazon, go work, man. Go work. Simple as that. I'm going to give it to you like a coach. When I used to coach kids and stuff like that, go work, man. Especially if you're able. I'm not going to feel sorry for you. If your wife left you or whatever type of trauma you got in your life, you got to man up, man. You got to man up. Get rid of that dirty dog out your car, sleeping with that dirty dog. How could you sleep in a car with a dog? How? How does that work? Tell me. How does that work for sure? All right. Let me see. What up, Jen? You funny. What up, Sherman Bob, Corey Finney? What up, Willie? He said he sounded like the mafia. Khadijah Reeves, you funny. He said, where he getting money to put gas? What up, Anthony Brody? And that's what the courtroom, they're gonna look at. That's what they're gonna look that as, a threat. It doesn't matter if you got any type of emotion to something. It's what you can prove. In the courtroom, these people don't know scripture. They don't know the Bible. But what they do know is that audio that you stated was a threat. Simple as that. You know what I mean? I'm also coming at him because he calls himself a pastor, a preacher, and things like that. If it was just a regular Joe Schmo, hey, whatever. But when you're on a pedestal of calling yourself a pastor or preacher, you don't say things like that. You don't make physical threats towards people. You understand? All right. What up, Shakira Pinkins? He says on that debate, Tika Johnson says on that debate he used the word of God, so he knew he wasn't going to lose. Evelyn Underwood says, how are you? I'm good. I'm great. I'm great. That's correct. He can take Mr. Benjamin. He can take a person to court for that matter, but it will get thrown out due to him making a physical threat. I never said he couldn't take him to court. It's two type of factors in there. It's civil and it's criminal. You understand that? The civil matter is the scripture part. These people in the courtroom, as far as like lawyers and judges, that's not really too much understandable when they don't know the scriptures too well. But the criminal matter of him stating that he's going to come to Delaware and things like that, and he says one of two things is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? That's clear-cut proof of a physical threat. So there is no lie there, Mr. Benjamin. All right. Who else? Hey, Mr. Benjamin, listen, you could come through too, man. You could come through too. You know what I'm saying? Benjamin. Who else was it? Gregory Johnson, St. Louis, Jansen Williams. Come through. Simple as that. What up, Jay Beavis? What up? Tika Johnson says, he says, and I do remember St. Louis left the video earlier. He gave up in the video, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he did. I believe he did. You're right. You're absolutely right at Tika Johnson. It's almost like parallel to a forfeit. You know, if a man leaves a certain thing, that's it. Listen, you give up, you quit, whatever the case may be, you walk away. He walked away. That's a good factor right there also. You know, I forgot about that for sure. You know what I mean? Okay. He said secretly tape recording somebody is illegal. That's not a tape. That's not a tape, brother. You understand that? If you was listening earlier, I said he had that on his YouTube channel and he took it down. Listen. You know what I'm saying? Now your mind is starting to get cloudy with stupidity because you wasn't listening, Mr. Benjamin. Oh, I ain't gonna say that other one. Using. Let's talk about pretend. Listen, he said you're pretending to be Damon Wallace. The other day, I explained copyrights. You understand that? So let's say if a person makes a video, right? If I make a live discussion or a live debate or whatever the case may be, it's 3 hours long. It's a 3 hour long video. You got to understand, like certain times a video matters when copyrights come into play. So and it also how can I say the word? It also matters about the number of subscribers and all the other stuff is on a person's YouTube channel. All that stuff factors into the YouTube and stuff like that, as far as like with community guidelines and copyright guidelines. So if this man uses a certain amount of time on a video and puts it on his channel, you understand that? That was on my channel. You understand? All my stuff is copywritten. Everything on here, you know what I'm saying, that I create is copywritten. Simple as that. So when you take something off this channel and put it on your channel, time wise, there's a certain time, you know, you're allowed to use in reference to copyrights also. So when he took something and used it on his channel, he took the debate with him and Damon, that was on my channel. You understand? When it says biblical discussions episode, an episode that is copywritten, you know what I'm saying, here on my YouTube channel. So when you take that off and you put it on your channel, you understand that? You can be flagged for copyright infringement. You cannot use somebody's name, you know what I'm saying, in order to flag somebody on YouTube. You know, you cannot use what do you say? DMCA is government. That's a government copyright. There's two types of copyrights. YouTube and the government one. You know what I'm saying? A government one, a DMCA, is more so if somebody was to use my video on their website versus on YouTube. I would have to contact DMCA. You understand that? So if you would do your homework on copyrights, you would learn that. You understand that? So before you say something about DMCA, that's government. That's something to deal with the government and stuff like that. YouTube copyright is something different. You understand that? So if somebody's using a video on YouTube, you can flag them through Google YouTube. But if somebody's using your videos on a website or somewhere else, then you have to contact DMCA. How can if you say DMCA, which is more so government, how can somebody uses somebody else's name for copyright infringement? That don't make no sense because it's certain information that they need, you know what I mean, in order to get that video taken down, as far as like your name, your address, and all that other stuff. You understand that? So my man, you don't know what you're talking about at Benjamin. All right. Okay. Khadijah. What up? What up, SL Effect? Tika Johnson says, and the crazy part about that, really, listen, they heard what they wanted to hear. They ate it up, not already. They ate it up, and now they ready. What are you trying to say at Tika Johnson? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? Hey, Mr. Benjamin, listen, Jay Bradley could use my video. I don't mind. I got nothing personal against Jay Bradley. Jay Bradley is not making threats at all. I believe Jay Bradley is in, some type of law enforcement. He know better. He's not gonna make no physical threats towards nobody. So Jay Bradley can use videos off my channel. You know what I mean? But if I decide to flag him, I can. So but if Jay Bradley wants to use the video, hey, by all means, go ahead. Jay Bradley ain't making no physical threats. Jay Bradley ain't making no personal issues. You know what I'm saying? All right. Sharon Bob says, the church he ran to would take him with open arms once he say something bad. You're right about that. You're absolutely right about that, at Sharon Bob. And that's what they all do. They go run to that church as if that church is gonna save them. It's not gonna do nothing. They ain't gonna help you. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna help you, you know? You said Usher Benjamin Israel out. I did. Another clown for sure. Another clown who don't know what he's talking about. A lot of these people like him, they think they know the copyright laws. You understand that? It's different. It's a whole lot of information on copyrights with YouTube and copyrights with the government. It's totally different. You understand that? It's totally different. You can't make it seem like it's somebody else to make a copyright claim. You cannot do that. You know what I mean? You cannot. All right. Jinju says, like Past Gino says, they hate the truth, but tune in every day to watch and listen. Same thing with Tony. They hate your channel, but tune in every time you go live. Ridiculous people. Absolutely. And and a few of them are blocked. So if they type in something, we can't see it, but they can listen, they can hear me, you know what I mean? But they've been blocked. They've been blocked for sure. But Mr. St. Louis, man, my advice to you, get up, get a job. You understand that? Get rid of that dirty dog that you're living with in that car, which is nasty. You understand that? I ain't gonna feel sorry for no grown man. No way. You're a so-called preacher. You don't make physical threats. Who says Benjamin sounds butthurt and so pressed like do you owe him any money? Mr. Benjamin texted me about a biblical discussion. He texted me about a biblical discussion before and things like that. And he's stating that I told him that St. Louis can take Mr. Peter to court in a civil matter, but on hindsight, you made a physical threat. So at the end of the day, it still would get thrown out, because of that physical threat that he had made in general. So Mr. Benjamin, you've been blocked. You understand? Donnie says, I'm watching. Is that phone number my number? My main number is a 201 number, man. A 201. That's a 201 number. I don't know what he's talking about. You understand? As far as like playing like a female, All right. Is it a 201 number? Is it a 201 number, man? Call Me Blessed says, good evening to you too. What up, Jackie? What up? Okay. I'm not a preacher, Donnie. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a preacher. You understand? All right. He says, family and grace and peace to you all. For sure. Peace to you too. Let me see. He says, hey nephew, much love. He says, he said, does St. Louis have a job? Listen, I'm not here to kick nobody down who don't have a job, who's homeless. You understand that? I don't kick nobody down. But when you're an able person, you know what I'm saying? If it seemed like you know what I mean, you don't want to go out there and look, because this is to my knowledge, what I heard. I'm not saying it's true, you know what I'm saying? But it was stated. I'm not saying it. It was stated that, you know, um, he was homeless for about 5 years or whatever the case may be. You understand that? I don't kick nobody down. I encourage everybody to go out there and work and what have you. All right. SL Effects. So I just recently started watching Gino. Absolutely. Great man. Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in general, and all the other YouTube channels and things like that that's posting, the truth of God. In all things, do this and be wise in all that conversation. Understandable for sure. You know, I definitely agree. Definitely for sure. You know, all right. Who else? Who else did I miss? He said, and he still don't have. Oh man, that's funny. That's absolutely funny for sure. You know. Well, listen. I don't know. I don't know. A lot of people is able, and they don't want to go out there and do the do as a man or as a woman. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna feel sorry for people. All right. Okay. Who else did I miss? Let me see if I miss anybody else. What up, Keyshawn Johnson? Keyshawn Jones, excuse me. I say Keyshawn Johnson. He says, "What happened, bro? He's scamming people. I just hopped on. I wouldn't say he's scamming people. No, I wouldn't say that about that. I wouldn't say that about that. But there's comment. He says Leon says St. Louis made it seem like he give those false preachers. Oh man, you funny man. He says, "What happened? That's what I get for working and missing the lives. It's cool. It's cool. It's more so in reference to kicking a person off the biblical discussion platform because of his actions. If he's a so-called preacher, this what this is mainly for. You know, you says sending threats but can't afford. Yo, you funny man. You funny as ever for sure. All right, you're definitely funny. All right. Okay, okay. Let me see. So let me see. See if I miss anybody in the room. Tika John says it's really crazy that he said all that. Why would he do that? Crazy. That's right. Stage left. Absolutely. 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 So he says, does St. Louis have a job? Well, that I don't know. But when a man keeps talking about he's homeless in situations like that, and a voice recording, and crying about that people don't help him. He comes on YouTube stating that this person don't help him, that person don't help him, and stuff like that. Listen, you're a man. You're a man at the end of the day. You're a man at the end of the day. Uber's definitely always hiring. Lyft, Amazon, UPS, and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? If a man don't work, he don't eat. You understand that? So, like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and say or talk down on anybody that's that claim to be homeless at all. That's not my style. You know what I mean? We hope for the best, and we pray, and we still got love for everybody for everybody out there. But when you make it something seem like it's nothing, you will get the business. Simple as that. You understand? All right. Bob says, I wonder if it's. Oh man. You says didn't know. TH didn't know. You said that's what the Lord said. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, you don't work, you don't eat. You know, I mean, it's not hard to find a job, man. It's absolutely not. Indeed, Career Builder, you even got a job section on Facebook. You understand? Listen, fill out 20. Listen, You devoting you devoting most of your time on YouTube. You devote most of your I'm talking to you like I'm talking to him as a man. You devote most of your time on you. Listen, I have a job. You know what I'm saying? 13, 15-hour days. I have one. But you're devoting most of your time on YouTube rather than filling out resumes, doing your resumes, sending them out, doing applications, you know what I mean? Or back in the day, how we used to do it, going to the companies. Listen, are y'all hiring? Let me fill out an application. You know what I'm saying? Let me do this. Get to work and stuff like that. Get to it. You know? Nobody gonna feel sorry for no grown man living in a car with a stink dirty dog. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? No way. No way at all. It's like nobody would feel sorry for me if I didn't want to work to take care of kids and whatnot, my kids and whatnot. You know, put clothes on my back and food on the table and stuff like that. You know, you got to be a real man. It's tough getting up 3 in the morning. Let me tell you something. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough getting up 3 in the morning and working 13 to 15-hour days. You understand? Talking to you like a man. At the end of the day, get up. Your two legs work. You can walk. Your two arms work. You know, your eyes work and your ears and your hands work for typing and making videos and stuff like that. Go out there and get a job. Simple as that. And, you know, listen, they got welfare out there, government programs, you know, unemployment help. I forgot to give like a grant for certain schools and stuff like that, that you would go to trade school. I believe he said he was a trucker before. You got your CDL. Go out there, man. You understand? No excuses, like you said. No excuses at all. You know, listen, you can make all the videos in the world. You can say Tony Harvin threatened you and stuff like that. I'm not a preacher. I'm not. You call yourself a preacher, Mr. St. Louis. You call yourself a preacher. I don't call myself a preacher at all. You know? So if it seemed like he don't want to do that. So if you call yourself a preacher, you are held to a higher standard of not physically threatening somebody. I'm not saying it's right if Tony Harvin did threaten anybody. Tony Harvin gave you the address to my place of business, which is a boxing gym, which is an exercising gym, which is we also got, you know, weight rooms and all that other stuff. Could have came in, chopped it up, and things like that. You know, I gave you a free workout. I would have gave you a free workout and whatnot and stuff like that. Listen, I offer a lot of people to come down there to chop it up. That doesn't mean I'm going to physically beat you up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So don't try to turn this into a Tony Harvin threaten somebody. You understand that? Listen, I probably could have gave you a job with me. You know what I'm saying? You could clean the pads off, you clean the gloves off, you know, when I'm done training somebody. You know what I mean? When I tell you to get the water for people, get the Gatorade, you would get that out of my gym bag. You know what I'm saying? How you know I wasn't going to compensate you for helping me out, being my little assistant for one day? You know what I'm saying? You don't know that. You understand? He said Burger King. He says, Leon says, I know because I need to get up 3 a.m. tomorrow and hit the road. We truckers know how it is. 3 a.m. on a Sunday? Wow. Wow, man. On a Sunday? Whoo. Wow. What you doing? You doing no touch freight, or you doing touch freight at Leon? KMN says Walmart is always hiring. Absolutely. Prince Sean, you gotta go back to the beginning, my brother. Hey Leon, you definitely need to get to bed because I definitely know how it is getting up 3 a.m. Oh man. Jen says I do 12 hours a day, 5 days a week in a job that I hate, but I love to eat and pay my bills, live well, so I got to get my tail up to work. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, G Swole says, what up? Do you think the reason why the children of this generation don't want to get a job is due to their parents spoiling them and making them feel like they're better than a job? Well, I don't know. I don't know his situation, but I do know that I spoil all my kids. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason, you know, why I have to have a job like trucking. I have to, not that I'm greedy for money, but I have to make a certain amount in order to live comfortably. You know, me personally, I can't work at Walmart. Not knocking anybody. You know what I'm saying? I spoil my kids, but some people are maybe traumatized about something that they feel as though they don't want to go out there and work. You know, they rather be homeless. They don't want to pay no bills. I'm not saying that's him because I don't know his situation. You know, but I do know he's able to work. You know, I do know that. You understand? But some kids are spoiled. I have to agree on that note. Some kids are spoiled, but me personally, um, when my kids or my sons or whatever the case may be are with me, listen, we're gonna go outside and train, and I'm gonna keep you working. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna do something. You understand that? You're gonna work for what you're asking for. You know what I mean? Getting good grades, getting involved in activities in school like that. Good grades is definitely important. That's work. That's definitely work in a sense for sure. Making sure they're doing their chores and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Making sure they're getting good rapport from their mothers, their grandparents, and stuff like that, and any other type of adults that they are around. You understand that? That's me. You know. All right. Jackie says people do not realize people do want to realize those jobs aren't supposed to be forever. Use them as a stepping stone. Absolutely, you're right. You're right. Walmart, you know what I mean, Amazon and stuff like that. But this is a man who say he drove trucks before. He drove trucks, so that surpasses Walmart. I mean, you could drive trucks for Walmart, but if you're talking about like a sales associate or something like that, you know what I mean. If he lost his CDL, if a person lose their CDL or got problems with their license, you know what I mean. I'm not saying he does, but if a person does, then if that's what it is, you got to work at Walmart. You got to work at Walmart. You know what I mean. You just have to, man. Having a CDL is a big time privilege. You know what I mean? It's just like having a nursing license, you know what I mean, or a doctor's license, you know what I'm saying, or passing the bar exam and get your license for a lawyer. You know what I mean? A truck driver, you know what I mean, their salaries is like on the level of lawyers and whatnot. You understand? I'm not all about money at all, but the truck driving industry is like a big time industry that I recommend people out there to really look into for sure. All right. You says over the road, no touch. That's what's up, man. I was thinking about going to Schneider. I thought about it. I thought about, what I mean, doing that. Not too much over the road, maybe over the road like one or two. I thought about Schneider. If you heard about Schneider at Leon. All right. You funny at Willie. Willie Minor, you funny. What up? Dan Dan Torelli said he's a serial killer. He said, told y'all you should turn him in. Well, for a man to call himself St. Louis without a real name and things like that, I really can't pinpoint, if he's, a criminal or whatever the case may be. He stated that I said, he got criminal charges and stuff like that. I never said that. I never said that. You know, I said it could that could be the situation, but some people they don't want to show their face or they don't want to give their real name. That's cool. That's fine. But when you make a physical threat like that, listen, please believe if somebody pushed the manner to get law enforcement involved, they can find out who he is. You know what I'm saying? They can find out who he is. You know what I'm saying? They can definitely find out who he is. Keyshawn Jones says, I know it's funny because you're right. They always hire. I invest in my Forex market Monday to Friday night, and I have to stay up from 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. to 4 a.m. Manage 4 hours of sleep a day. Weekends lazy. Wow. And Floyd says they stay up all night and can't get up in the morning. All it takes is a trip to the DMV and getting a CDL manual, study and take the test. I talked to someone who got his record. He was charged for rape. So listen, Mr. Dan Torelli, not Tony Harvin. Dan Torelli said, St. Louis. You know what I mean? I'm not going to put no stamp and validation on it because I don't know. You know what I'm saying? He said that he was charged for rape before. You know what I'm saying? So, Mr. Dan Torelli, You know my number. You know what I'm saying? You know my number. You know my email. If you have that information, and it has to be authentic, it has to be authentic, you know what I'm saying? Or his real name. You know what I'm saying? Or his real name. I know somebody gave me some information before on the Williams brothers, and it was incorrect. You know what I mean? And I had to apologize for giving out that information that somebody gave me, which was false, upon the Williams brothers out of Chicago. You understand that? So if it's authentic that you have, Mr. Dantorelli, let me know. He says, I knew he was a jokester. It's the third heist of becoming. Dantorelli, send me the information, man. Send me the information. Okay. Dantorelli says, someone I spoke with over the phone said they looked him up and what is his real name, Dantorelli? What is his real name? What is his real name? G Swole says, which one you prefer, paying for a trucking school or going to a paid trucking business to go over the road to pay the company back for your training? Well, I remember that time, you know what I mean, back in 2012, looking at CR England, Swift, I think US Express, Western Express and stuff like that, where as though they were paid for your training and things like that, and you have to like sign a 1-year contract or whatever the case may be. Me, what I did was, I had a little change in the bank, and I paid it for myself. I paid for hours of hands-on training. That's what I did way back when. So all I did was 6-hour training on my own for the Class B, and I got it. You know what I'm saying? And then I upgraded to an A in 2014, and I just did like maybe 10 hours hands-on training with a stick shift, 10 speed. That's all I needed. I didn't need a couple of months in the school or whatever. Just give me a couple of hours hands-on training, take me to the road test in Jersey, and I could knock it out. And that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? On a tractor trailer to get my CDL back in 2014. So it was like maybe $2,000 or something like that out of my pocket, cash or whatever. So that's what I did. You know what I mean? Knock it out. 10 hours hands-on training. That's all I needed. That's all I did, man. I wasn't sitting in no classroom, for months or whatever just to get a CDL. That wasn't me. No. You understand? So that's what I did. I paid for it myself back in 2012 and 2014, But some people don't have the financial means for that. And the only choice is to go to a over the road company who will pay for their CDL. But you got to understand also, some school bus companies or some transit companies, if you go to the DMV and get your permit, they will help you get your CDL. We're not talking about over the road type of companies, but like transit companies will help you get your Class B, which is a start. It's a start, you know what I'm saying? So, and then after a while, you can go to a company that got like straight trucks and whatnot with tractor trailers. So you get involved in that, like a JB Hunt who got straight trucks, or a Dewey Powell who got straight trucks, you know what I'm saying, and tractor trailers. You get into that, you know what I'm saying? They'll probably help you train on the tractor trailer, you know what I'm saying, here and there. And then by then, you still go take your CDL Class A road test and you knock it out. I don't understand. Says 4 to 5 days. 4 to 5 days. 4 to 5. He says he wanted to stay with me. Wow. You funny. Dan Torelli says he told me one time he went 3 weeks without taking a bath and had skid marks. Yo, you funny, man. Dan Torelli said he sent them $50 to wash his clothes. Wow, $50 to wash your clothes? Wow. Listen, I got a bunch of clothes, man. I got a bunch of clothes. It only take about $10, $15. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's crazy. So Dan Torelli. Jesus God says, did he threaten you? No, he didn't threaten me. He threatened Peter Cox physically, not me. Jackie says, the first step, then get into trucking school to learn how to drive. If you haven't been taught privately, absolutely. Genju says, hope your new car is safe and has all the right security locks needed. Hope anybody that tries to steal or harm your car never uses their hands again. Well, it was juveniles. It was juveniles. You know what I'm saying? Juveniles. Like I said, they had this little TikTok thing on there. It's like a TikTok challenge with like Hondas and Kias, where it's though like a ritual. They break the back window, take the cover off the steering wheel, and there's a piece that you could just turn and then start the car. You understand that? So right now, Kia and Honda, I guess they, trying to put some security features where as though that can be ceased, But right now, I got some security features on that thing right now. You understand? You know what I mean? So it was just some, juveniles joyriding out there, doing a little TikTok challenge. But like I said, they might run into the wrong person at the wrong time, which may cause them to lose their life. You understand that? But much prayers to them in general. All right. What up, Cowboy Moose? Okay. Hey, Dan Torelli, you said you had to restart your phone. Um, I asked his real name at Dan Torelli. Sister Carol says, is Jay Bradley the guy who sits in his car making videos about PJ? Yes, that's him. That's him, And I respectfully offered Jay Bradley to come on the biblical discussion platform, but I'm not saying he declined. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he declined. He just never really got back too much. You know what I mean? G Swole says, because my coworker told me, and there's a lot of people in line that's causing her training to be slow, and I already got a class B. Wow. Well, trucking schools or whatever the case may be, try to go to like a smaller school, where there's not a lot of people. So I got hands-on training from somebody that trained me to get my license for my car back in 2004. You know what I mean? Providence Driving School in Bam, New Jersey. I knew the guy Pedro, you know what I'm saying? So he first started out in 2004. I was one of the students, you know what I mean, back then. So now 2012 comes, I went right back to Pedro for the Class B and the Class A. And, you know what I mean, Pedro got me squared away out there in Bam, New Jersey, you know? All right. You said you started CR England in 2005, 2 months of school, got my CDL, stayed with them for 1 year now, and that I'm making Twitter. Yeah, absolutely, Leon. Absolutely, for sure. You said his name is Darnell Wilson. What up, Craig? So Mr. St. Louis' name is Darnell Wilson. That's what you said, Dan Torelli. Let's look him up right now. Darnell Wilson. Where is he from? We're gonna look him up right now. Darnell Wilson. Darnell Wilson. Darnell Wilson. Let me see. Is he from St. Louis? Is he around 42 years old? Because I'm seeing like news articles on him. If that's him. He said his name is Darnell Wilson. Darnell Wilson. He is a Hispanic man and has a record dating back to 2004. Wow. Listen now, Dan Torelli. This from you. It's not from Tony Harvin. You understand? It's from you. It seemed like y'all had some history. What up, Travis? Appreciate that. You say a lot about Missouri. He hiding in Tennessee. He says Darnell Wilson. Darnell Wilson is his name. He isn't even from Missouri. He lives in Tennessee. What up, Sister Shay? Are we cooking tonight? Absolutely. Listen, St. Louis in the oven right now. He in the oven. He on broil right now, for sure. He in that oven. You know what I mean? He said he has long black hair like a woman, and he wear war paint. We talked on camera. He got on camera with me. He reached out to me with a sob story. He wears paint under his eyes like Rambo. Oh man, that's funny. Oh man, listen, Dan Torelli, if you telling the truth, this man is a clown. He is a clown. Oh, you say you sent him $50. Tommy Ingram sent him some money too. Tommy Ingram sent him some money too. He said. Anthony Beckham says, "Greetings. Did you hear about TD Snakes, who of the devil who passed the torch to his daughter, and AO called, I guess, so-called ordained her to take over?" Well, I heard about it, but I didn't really look into it. You know, Dan Torelli. I'm not saying you're lying. You know what I mean? Because me and you talk, and you sound like a sincere brother. You know what I mean? So you say his name is Darnell Wilson. He's out in Tennessee. He was convicted of rape. You know what I mean? And when I looked up the name Darnell Wilson, um, it has some stuff up here about him. You know, if that's him. You know, but you say he's out in Tennessee. You know, so you say he told me he needs funds. I was trying to help him out. You know what I mean? And you're not the first person that somebody said, you know what I mean, they helped him out with financial needs and stuff like that. Me personally, I wasn't helping him out. Listen, I'm gonna be clear. Tony Harvin has kids. You understand that? I ain't helping no stranger out over the internet. You know what I mean? If you're not producing a real name, a real address, you know what I'm saying, with some proof that you need help and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So you know, you a sincere brother if you sent him $50 and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You're not the only person who said they sent money to him, you know, and they had the proof of the Cash App that they sent to him. You know what I mean? So he cannot deny this. You know, see, he could fool you know, Kendrick Murray, he could fool Jansen Williams and all that other stuff and what have you. But you know what I mean, if the facts is true that this man is the person you're talking about, you know what I mean? What a deception. Craig Giselle says, I offered to help him a few weeks ago on my Minimalist Mint channel, but he never got back to me. Craig Giselle, there's a lot of people out there. You know, once you get a YouTube or social media in general, there are gonna be people out there like him who are able working people like him who try to be deceptive, who try to get money out of people. They know how to do it. See, he wasn't going to do it to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a no guy. Listen, I need your first name. I need your last name. I need your address. You know what I mean? I need to see a bill that you got, that you owe, or something like that. Then I'll go pay it. I'll go get a prepaid card or something like that, and I'll pay it for you. You understand? All right. Well, you said C-Rock Smooth got the video out? Sure, I might check it out later. He said Dory Love wouldn't help him. Shout out to Dory Love for not. For sure. Shout out to him. Dan Torelli says, my wife was really suspicious of him when he wanted to come here. Wow, he wanted to come and live with you? Really? Wow. 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 Listen, St. Louis, you got some explaining to do, man. Listen, if St. Louis is in here right now, if you in here right now and you're blocked, you understand? Here's the link that I'm sending. St. Louis could join us on any one of his puppets. The link is in the chat room for you to click and for you to join this video. You know what I'm saying? Any St. Louis puppets in here, you know, who are blocked, that we can't see your chats, I put the link in there that you could click and join this video. Call Me Bless says, is he banned? Yes, he's banned from the Biblical Discussion platform. He's banned. You know? You said your wife looked him up, Dan Torelli? Wow. Darnell Wilson. So you said that St. Louis, he's not from Missouri. He's in Tennessee. His name is Darnell Wilson. You know, let me look something up right now. I'm gonna look something up, and I'm gonna see. I'm gonna look him up. I'm gonna put Darnell Wilson, Tennessee. All right. Wow. So, Mr. Dan Torelli, he said he's getting dragged. Jen Juice, you funny. You, he said he's getting dragged. Listen, I didn't even know Dan Torelli was gonna come on here. But the brother Dan Torelli, sent him some money. Tommy England sent him some money. Um, he was asking people for money and stuff like that. My man, St. Louis, or Donnell Wilson, whatever your name is, get a job, brother. If you got a criminal record, okay, cool. You got a criminal record, all right. It's gonna be a little tough. But I know people out there who did a dime in prison, a dime. Some people who been out for a manslaughter charge and got a job with the city. You know what I mean? So that's no excuse for you not to get a job. If you got a criminal background, if you understand, if Terrence Norwood, sermon on Lilith, no. I've heard somebody say something about Lilith before, but there is no. I think there's a sermon out there titled God's Wife. I think there's one out there. Craig G. Sell says, gotcha, makes sense. Doesn't even give his name. And we folks that striving and holiness and stuff like that, we like to hear people out, but some people out there can be manipulative. I don't know how to really pronounce the words, kind of tongue twisting, but a manipulator. You understand? Yeah, people out there. You know what I mean? All right. Dan Torelli says that guy is a murderer. I'm telling y'all what I saw on camera. The dude got long black hair and a beard and had black paint under his eyes. Oh man, you say he's a murderer. You say listen, YouTube. I ain't trying to violate no community guidelines at all. You understand? I'm just reading comments right now. I mean, that's a strong statement to make about somebody, Mr. Torelli. You say where did you get that information from that he's a murderer at Dan Torelli? Where did you get that from? All right. You said JP know his buddy a criminal. Oh man, that's funny. That is funny. Keyshawn Jones said he got body bags. Craig DeSell said, I don't understand how he says his name is being tarnished when he never gives it. That just don't make sense. Absolutely. Absolutely. But now somebody gave his real name out, Darnell Wilson. If that's really his real name, he's probably going to deny it. Probably. You know what I mean? All right. Terrence Norwood says, I didn't know if any truth to it or not, but I was curious because I just heard it. Absolutely, Terrence Norwood. I heard that too about Lilith. I heard somebody say that too, for sure. Dan Torelli says Benjamin, JP, and Donnie all helping him hide out. Well, Benjamin came on here, yapping off. JP came on here yapping off, and Donnie came on here yapping off. Listen, I invite them all out. I invite them all. I reimburse them to come, to come to my place of business, to the Forum Fitness Gym in Indian Trails, North Carolina. Listen, if they need a job, come sweep the floors in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Come wipe the gloves. Come soak out the hand wraps that we got there. You understand that? You know what I mean? If they need work, come through. You understand that? You know what I mean? And it seems like they are, because the names you name, those have been the ones who've been coming on here, heckling and stuff like that, and hitting up my phone and things of that nature. Somebody told me ever since he came on here, there's been a lot of drama on here. But this is the last dance. This is the first and the last dance with him, making this video to expose a false prophet, for sure. Jen says, I've helped people in the past, mostly fake pastors, and got burnt, but that was before God removed the scales from my eyes. God will deal with him for stealing my money from me. Wow. He says, Dan Torelli says, my wife looked him up because the Cash App name he used was Dog Lover 777. Hey, Dan Torelli, was it a dog as his default picture? You know? Dory Love, can I help anybody? Because he's you funny. You funny. I don't know who Drew I don't know who Drew is. I don't know who that wrestler is. G Swole says, how does one have a nice cell phone without a job? Asking people for money. Some people hustle is, okay, let me see what I can get out of this person. You know, let me come up with the sob story that I'm homeless, I don't have this, I don't have that. And you know what I mean? Some people are real clever and real crafty with words to get money out of people. You know, so if they can get $50 out of one person, $30 out of another person, do that to about 10 to 20 people a day. You know what I mean? So the internet will be their friend. The comment sections will be their friend. Because like him, making up a sob story that he's homeless, living with a stink, dirty dog. You know what I mean? Said I've watched a discussion between St. Louis and Peter Cox on Flesh and Blood in Heaven, and he was taking the scriptures out of context. That's why he banned? I'm not sure what the scoop is. Well, he's banned for physically threatening Peter Cox. I played the audio in the beginning. You know, somebody said he had some text messages up that I was threatening him or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? But I played a audio of his voice and things like that. You know what I mean? Okay. All right. JP, Benjamin Adani, and Jensen Williams and Kendrick Murray covering for him. Well, I don't think Kendrick Murray knows too much of the scoop of him. You know what I mean? So I can't really, put anything on Kendrick Murray. You understand? I can't really do that. You know, because Kendrick Murray just, somebody, usually send me videos about that stuff or whatever the case may be. You know, he just got to know him, so I can't put that on Kendrick Murray. But what I will say is, Mr. St. Louis Donnell Wilson, he can't save you either. You know, if you're in hiding and stuff like that, or whatever the case may be, if Kendrick Murray can't save you, he can't. You know, he can't. What up, Anthony Beckham? Greetings, brother Tony Harvin. Did you hear? I think I answered that already. On the hand, though, shouldn't curse people out though. I mean, I don't really listen to Tommy Ingram. You know, some people say you do curse people out. I don't really listen to him. So it's like, God and Tony, forgive me, but you look. You funny. You funny, G Swole. You funny. AKA man, he says a lot of gangster stuff happening. I mean, I wouldn't call it no gangster stuff and stuff like that. You know, there are a lot of people out there who just get caught up in their emotions and things like that. But when you say something to a factor of coming to see somebody, where their wife and kids is at, that's a serious situation right there. That's a criminal matter. Now, somebody stating that he has a criminal record and things like that and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Dan Torelli, I'm not saying you're lying or whatever the case may be. I'm not saying it's not true. You know, I just would like to see, a more valid proof. You know what I'm saying? He gave me his name, gave me his location and stuff like that and things like that. Do you have like a news article or something like that on him? Or I know they put out public records on people. So you got a website or something like that, let me know. Let me know. For sure. What up, Ernest Beard? Dan says before he got there, was never no drama before. Yep, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. All right. What up? Hey, Chris, stop it, Chris. Stop. Chris, stop. Stop it, Chris. Stop, Chris. Stop it. Simple faith, Chris. You my man, 100 grand, but stop. All right. KMN says, why you keep calling the dog dirty? He could be a cute puppy. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Dan Terrell says, Murray said St. Louis threatened him. If you listen to what Murray said, he said St. Louis was threatening him. If Kendrick Murray did say that, you know what I mean, and I really don't know the situation, the past situation or whatever the case may be. I don't know, but I I really don't know. He says you're welcome. God bless on the real when it's rare. Okay, G Swole, appreciate that. Um, Call Me Blessed says must be careful with these people online. Family, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Um, G Swole says have you ever watched Joe Austin before you found Pastor Gino? No, no, no. He says my wife got it off Tennessee Department of Corrections. So okay, now I'm going to the Tennessee Department of Corrections right now. Let me see if I can find it of this guy. I think they got a offender search on here. I'm gonna look it up right now. Let me see if I can find it right quick. If they would allow me to check it. So it says last name Wilson. Let me look it up. Darnell. I'm gonna just put enter. The security code. What security code? Okay. Let me see. I'm going right now. I'm going right now. It's not really allowing me to look. It's not allowing me to look at Dan Torelli. Let me reset this right quick. All right. I'm gonna do this one more time. So Dan Torelli. Um, there's no photo available. It says black. Let me look. Let me look. Um, well, there is a name of Darnell Wilson. He was born May 15th. My birthday is on the 16th. He was born May 15th, 1966. He's black. It says. It just said he spent a year and a half in prison. Um, it said his sentence date was October the 26th, 2007. That's all I see. It says no photo available. If that's him at Dan Torelli, that's all I'm seeing right now on my end. You know, it says Simple Face says, I guess if I have to get it on and debate Cox after I already shut him up on the subject matter. You funny. You funny. You funny. Dan Torelli said I should have screenshot his mugshot, but okay, there was clean shaven. You can also go on other sites too, but the man is on the run. Always on the run. Listen, hey Jackie. He said his name is Darnell Wilson from Tennessee. He says he's on the run. They do have something on the Department of Corrections on the Tennessee website of what I mean, a person named Darnell Wilson. All right. I'm a one God man says, Brother Tony, this guy St. Louis was trying to set you up against Peter Cox. I mean, listen, me and Peter Cox is okay. Although we have me and Peter Cox was going at it for years. But one thing about Peter Cox, he never got personal. You know what I'm saying? I just spoke to Peter Cox today in reference to a discussion he wants to have, and everything is all good. You know. Bronson says, what day did this stuff happen with St. Louis? Well, the discussion with Peter Cox, You know, if you're talking about the threat that he made towards Peter Cox, what I have when I downloaded that video was September the 19th. I have it. You know, and you know what? Let's play it again. We're gonna play it again right quick. We're gonna play the threat that he made, you know what I'm saying, to Peter Cox. We're gonna play it again. You know, and this is a so-called preacher. You know what I'm saying? Let me see if we can start it at.
Already know the deal then.
All right.
I'm giving you 2 weeks.
Yo, this is funny.
Of 2020
All
October.
right. Here we go right here.
I'm giving you until October the 3rd to pay me my money. If you don't pay me by the 3rd of October, listen. You have until October the 3rd of 2022 to pay St. Louis, me, $10,000. I can go and show the court what was debated on Tony's.
Now, how can a man like him go to court, man? How? Hey, Dan Terrell, you hear this? You hear this, right? So this is the video that he took down off his page. He took it down. The first day he put it on, he took it down. Now I gotta talk over it, you know what I'm saying? Because when you use somebody, well, I don't think he have it on his page anyway, but if you was to use somebody's stuff, you have to commentate over it. You just can't play it like straight up. You have to commentate over it and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? To go coincide with the YouTube community guidelines and the copyright guidelines for sure.
Platform.
All right.
I'm giving you 2 weeks. I'm giving you 2 weeks to pay me my money. If you don't.
Now, he's talking about Peter Cox when he had the discussion. This is a so-called preacher.
One or two things is gonna happen. One,
I rewind it.
Giving you 2 weeks. I'm giving you 2 weeks to pay me my money. If you don't, one or two things is gonna happen.
Now he said one or two things is gonna happen. Now this is a so-called preacher. One or two things is gonna happen, he said. Here we go.
One, I'm gonna take you to court, or two, I'm gonna personally come down to Delaware. And you already know the deal then. I ain't gotta even say nothing. You already know the deal. Because if we had this discussion face to face, I guarantee you it's not gonna go pretty good. I'm trying to save you from
that. Listen, that was on this phone. I have another phone where as though he's using profanity. You understand that? Listen, St. Louis, man, or Darnell Wilson, whatever your name is, you know. St. Louis said he was born in 1979, didn't really said. All right. So, wow, that's crazy. Wow, where was he left? For who? Hey, Jackie, what are you talking about? You funny. He's like, can we take a vote? You know? Denver says, I told you when me and him talked through Google Duo, he had a large knife on the side of his pants. Wow. Wow. Leon says to all the false prophets, don't mess with us, TOG, because we do background checks. Jen Juice, you funny. You is funny. Ben, whatever that word is, he says, is it true that Gino's and the others and well, Mr. Ben, there was a video that he talked about that it was a false letter that was written. You know what I'm saying? There's a video out there, you know, in one of the broadcasts that he touched on that, you know. because there are a lot of people who are upset out there who write false letters to make it seem like, it's that anybody could write a letter to somebody. Somebody could write, say, "Oh, Tony Harvin did this," or Tony Harvin did that, and a false prophet could read it. You know what I'm saying? And people would believe it and things like that. You understand? Okay. Um. Um. He said Peter Cox. You funny. You funny. um. Not really good to you. Try somebody based on hearsay. Well, Mr. Chris, Mr. Simple Faith, it's actual facts right here, man. That's actual facts, along with the Department of Corrections also. You understand that? It's actual facts. So there you have it. You know. All right. Um, Ben says, like when the Pope. Do you think what program was that at Ben? If you're talking about program, I think that was program 819 when he made a challenge to the Pope. You know, if you talk about program 819-821, whereas though he made the challenge to the Pope, it was the Catholic Church diocese. I think it was that church was in Delaware, if that's what you're talking about. You know, if that's what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember a video like that, what you're talking about at Dan. I don't remember that. I don't remember that. Sure. He said exactly. This is the second time in the past couple of days I heard such foolishness. Craig Giselle says he can admit a thank you for having him on. That was courtesy in the first place. Absolutely, I agree. It definitely was courtesy. It definitely was helping a person out if he's really homeless. You know, if he's really homeless, then if it's true facts that what I'm saying, that he is on a run. I'm not saying he is. If you know what I mean, and then people find out publicly, then what they help would they help me accountable for some sort? You know, would they? That's my question. What up, Latanya? What up? What up? What up? Yeah, he called the Pope out. I was in General Church 2008. Listen, you talking about program 819, man. That's what you're talking about. You know, let me look that date up right now because I think that's what you're talking about when he was going in on the Catholic Church because somebody had wrote a letter from that diocese church for sure. I'm gonna just go look at it right quick, the date. Right now. Yeah, September the 30th, um, 2008. You know what I'm saying? The Pope didn't write him, man. The Pope didn't write him, man. He said, 2008. He read that wasn't from the Pope, man. Hey Ben, that wasn't from the Pope. That wasn't from the Pope. That was from an arch. That was from a diocese church in Delaware. That wasn't from the Pope, man. You know, I think you heard that letter wrong, but that wasn't from the Pope, brother. You know. All right. Okay. Um. They talking about a discussion right now. They're talking about a discussion. Dangerella says, I'm not coming on there with you. Yo, Dangerella, you funny, man. He said you were St. Louis sympathizer. Hey, Chris, aka Simple Faith. When a man calls himself a so-called preacher, manipulating people for money and stuff like that, you know, and what have you, making physical threats, Are you? Yeah, he has a soul. We got to pray for him. We still got to love him, but we don't have to deal with this person. You expose people like that to warn the people. You got to warn people about people. You understand? You have to. You know. All right. Um, Jinju says, "I love those programs where Gino smash the fake Jesus idols and fake Mary and burn." You funny. So, Mr. Ben, he says, can you explain to me a scripture, please? What are you talking about, man, Mr. Ben? Daniel says, I guess we're gonna have to run that boxing tournament. You funny, man. I remember that question from yesterday, man. I definitely remember that question for sure. So I'm about to conclude this live for sure. I'm about to conclude it. Mr. St. Louis, yeah, he's been banned from the biblical discussion platform. This is the last dance. We're gonna eulogize him. Upon this live conversation. You understand. So, um, whatever this man got to say in general, listen, I don't care. JP, Donnie, whoever else that's riding with Mr. St. Louis, I don't care. You understand? Uh, End of the year service. Hope everybody booked their hotels and whatnot. In Greensboro, North Carolina, end of the year service. I will be there. You understand? And I hope everybody be there. Who's in tune with the Truth of God for sure, because it's definitely going to be great in general. The end of the year service. Okay. You says I blocked his number in his email and I blocked him here. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. That's funny. Hey Ben, he says, Latanya says, pay attention carefully to the scriptures and God will open your understanding. I guess he's talking about Ben. You said Jansen Williams had him on his platform. I think I've seen, what I mean, a little bit of it, but I turned it off, man. I turned it off for sure. Anybody who's against, what goes on this channel, they go run. They go run. They either run to, other people who's against this channel, whatever the case may be. You understand? But that don't do nothing at all. That don't do nothing for sure. All right. He says, my wife and I look forward to coming to North Carolina at the end of the year service. Absolutely, man. Wonderful. Wonderful. At Dan Torelli, he's coming to the end of the year service. Lord willing, it's going to be definitely great. Jen says, I noticed the purple game backed off after they pulled up at the headquarters and did nothing. Simple Face says, your rule, if people got something to say in the chat, you can toss a link and let us come on there. The fact that Dan Torelli has nothing but trash proves he's a coward. Has no credit. Hey, Dan Torelli, Simple Faith wants to have a biblical discussion. He wants to have a biblical discussion. If you're up for a biblical discussion, what time is it? It's almost 11 o'clock, man. Over here in North Carolina. Dan Torelli, if you want to have a biblical discussion with Simple Faith, aka Chris, let me know. Let me know. Let me know. If not, you says not a biblical discussion about a discussion of ethics and morals. Ethics and morals. Um, um, what do you want to discuss upon that with Mr. Torelli? I don't think Mr. Torelli going to join the discussion. Wilner says, thank you, I appreciate that. Tony says, Lord willing for me to go to the service in Greensboro, North Carolina, if my coins is together. Wonderful. I'm about to go to bed. We can have one tomorrow. Dan Torelli. Simple Faith, he says tomorrow. He says tomorrow he's about to go to bed. That's understandable. All right. Working man, got kids and stuff like that. It could be tiring. Definitely understand that for sure. All right. So I guess that's it. Hope everybody have a wonderful night. So it's almost 11 p.m. over here on the East Coast for sure. Cool. I'll be looking forward to that at Dan Torelli. I'll be looking forward to that for sure. So we're gonna eulogize St. Louis. Eulogize him. Close the casket on him and things like that. Much prayers to him, much love. We hope he get his life together. Whether he's a criminal or not, or a former criminal, or whatever the case may be, on a run or not, still got to love that man for sure. But exposing people and warning the people, I do on this platform, especially if you're manipulating the people and stuff like that. All right. So we're about to conclude. Do remember, contact me, BOXERTONYHARVIN@gmail.com. You know what I'm saying? I'm Tony Harvin. I'm signing off. May you all have a blessed day. Hey, St. Louis, gotta close the casket on you, brother. Simple. Peace.